Sorry if I'm handing you Daisy. Hello, everybody. Hello. So, a month or so back, I won a wonderful giveaway from Kathy's World and Friends. And it had 2 little kits in. The other one's right here. I already did it. It's this little stand. It's like this. I painted it. I have to redo this. The knob came off. But I think I'll just put some black on there and not worry about it. But it's like this little 2-tier little thing. That was one of the kits. And then, sorry, I got things knocked over now I have to fix. There was this one. It said Annie's Creative Woman Kit of the Month Flower Market Magnets. Hi, I'm McCarthy style. Hello, Tammy. So I'm up. I had a long day. Had a wonderful dinner, steak dinner, and all that. And I was in bed by 10:30. I couldn't keep my eyes open. Well, then all of a sudden, 2 o'clock hits and I'm up. So I was sitting here kind of cleaning my craft room, and I came across this, which has been sitting here. And I thought, you know what? I want to do it. So in the kit, what you get is you get the white paint and then a clear coat. You get the little blocks, little wooden blocks. There's a little paintbrush, which I'm just going to save for Riley. Give that to her. You get 3 of this size, 3 of this size, and 3 of this size. You get the little stickers. Let's need that. And then you get the sandpaper you're going to need, and the magnet stickers. So we're going to actually follow the directions because we got the directions. I'm going to put them so I don't lose them. And we're going to do what it says. So getting started. Preparation. It says, lightly sand over all sides of each block. Dust off with paper toweling. Okay. It won't take long. This is not very coarse wood. So it won't take long at all to do that. So how are you? I hope you're doing well today. Mentally tired? Been there. So like that, look at that one. So I'll make sure that's where the magnet goes. Almost got the whole house cleaned out at Scott's dad's. Sister's coming to get a bunch of stuff this weekend. Bigger stuff out of it that she's keeping. for not having a garage sale. She's finally come to the realization there ain't enough to have a garage sale. Sure. She thought her parents had more. I don't know what she thought there was going to be. She's like, what happened to all mom's stuff? I said, well, Dad and I said after a couple of years, finally, I talked them into donating their clothes. So somebody else there could wear them. So oh, yeah, that sucks. Well, I'm starting here next week. I told Scott. Across from my craft room is a closet, which is all my stuff that I store, my ribbons, lace, and all that. I'm going to start boxing that stuff up. Either way, I'm moving. We're moving. We're buying a house regardless. So that is stuff that I use it, but it's not a constant use. So I'm going to get that all boxed up. And get a head start on all that. Scott and I are cleaning out the garage at his dad's. And then we can start cleaning out our garage and get our boat down there and that kind of stuff. And because our lease is up in July and Jeanette knows that. We have to give 60 days notice. So nope, no yard sale. I donated all Dad's clothes to the homeless shelter. They said they'd take them. It's a bunch of miscellaneous glass, and I'm just going to donate them. Yeah. We found, I bet you 50 unopened little, the dentist gives you a bag. My father-in-law's dentist, every time you want to saw him, he gives you a bag with a toothbrush in it, a toothpaste, and floss right in little bags. I bet you we found 50 of them. I left them in the bag. So they're going to the homeless shelter. They went to the homeless shelter, and I told the lady, she was looking at them. She goes, we can just hand these out. Just like, yeah. I said, she goes, where do you get these? I said, my father-in-law would get a bag every time he went to the dentist, and toothpaste, nothing. I told her I did look through because I didn't know if toothpaste expired or how old they were. They're still all good. So she was grateful. Yeah, we're getting the house. We're buying the house. They just have to sit down and work out the final details. Either way, Scott and I are buying the house. Yep. They just got to sit down with the lawyer, get all the paperwork going on it. And Scott mentioned it to his sister. She was up here this week, Thursday and Friday, that he'd like to get on that so that we can start, working in that house. There's a little bit we have to do that before we can move in, and we'd like to get started on it. So at least, even if we can't take ownership until such and such date, we want something wrote up that all of a sudden it's a said contract, and on this is such date it goes in our name. So, but it all comes down to the price and the final details. Either way, we're buying it. We decided we're not. We got the electrician estimate, which we thought would be more, and it wasn't that much. I mean, it's $7,500 to do what we want. Electrician way. I'm not going to use the little white paint in the tube. I'm just going to use what I have. So we want to get that going, But we don't want to do all this if it's all of a sudden in a month's time we do all this work and his sister says no, it has an issue or something. But she can't sell it without Scott. And now that we want it, she can't, I just want a contract, Yeah. So, but we'd like to get going. She's already hunting for her new house. And like Scott says, we'd like to be in ours too. She's looking at a house today. So she's eager to get this done just in case they buy their house because they want to move. Well, like Scott says, so do I. So can we get this going? So she's prepared to sit down and negotiate and get moving on it. Hey, Dawn. So they're going to do that, I think, next Saturday. They're going to, I think he told me. Oh, I know. It's one day next week. They're going to sit down, discuss the house, work out the details, and come to an agreement, and then get a hold of the attorney and get that done. And me and Scott, once that gets done and everything's set in stone, we can start doing what we want to do in it. Get the electrician and redo our bedroom, redo the bathroom, paint. I already got all my colors picked out that I would want. Ooh. But I don't want to go work and all of a sudden. We got a 2001 Softail. Yep. Scott bought his bike. That was something we both discussed that we were going to do. We bought some guy at work. We got a good deal on that bike. Guy at work that Scott worked with. He's from Canada. And now that him and his wife are both retired, they're going to be spending more time up in Canada. They don't want to totally move out of the state or Wisconsin. They're going to split their time between Canada and the U.S. And he doesn't want the bike anymore because we're there up in Canada. He says real dusty where their place is. He said he'd spend more every time he'd take his bike out. He'd have to wash it, get the dust off it. And his wife doesn't ride anyways. So, yep, we got that. Scott's got to go get his temps. He does that on Monday. He's already got that. And get it registered. And then take his temp test so he has temps to drive. Because we realized that he didn't renew his motorcycle license during COVID. So he always had them. For some reason, he missed it. So and I told Scott, I said, you might not have to do a road test. He's not sure. So when he goes in to register on Monday, he's going to find out because it's not that many years. I said, so you might get lucky where you only have to renew them and pass the eye exam. I said, so he'll find out Monday when he goes to the motor vehicle department if he has to go through the road test again. because it's not been 3 years maybe, so we don't know how that works. But like he says, man, that'd be easy. I'll just get my temps and um, drive on the temps until I can get in until I can take the road test. The only thing we have to go buy my helmet. Yeah, yeah, it was COVID. Yep, all me and Scott's license, my ID, Scott's license, all expired during COVID, so we couldn't renew them. Yeah. Um. So when Scott and I went and redid our license after COVID, they never he they didn't do his motorcycle license. Oh, I don't know. I haven't had a helmet in my head in 20 years. My helmet was always with my brother-in-law because I rode with. It's been 32 years since Scott had a bike, but I always rode with my brother-in-law, and he bought me a helmet. We went and bought a helmet at a swap meet for me, and it was always with his bike. Well, he passed away in 2005. No, I don't remember. I'd have to look when Hawks. And I never got the helmet. We don't know where it is. So we're gonna do that next week. Next week too. We're gonna go get me a helmet because, well, I ain't getting on that bike with Scott for a while. He needs to get this out of his system a little bit. And I want him to. His bike was a Sportster, and this one's a little bit bigger. So he wants to get used to it before I get on it with him. Plus, he has to put the seat back on because the guy we bought it from, his wife didn't ride. It's just a basic motorcycle seat. I want the other one that's more luxury. So, and a friend of ours told us not to go buy one because he goes to swap meets all the time, and he's gonna look for me the kind of seat I want. And not, we're gonna order one. Okay. Yeah, I got to get my leather boots too. I said, Scott, I have to start all over because I have to get chaps, all that. Yep. Leather my boots because I won't ride. I won't ride the bike without boots. I had a nice pair of boots too, but I always see the thing is I wore my boots everywhere. No, I won't do that. I'll only wear them when I go out on a bike. But we're excited. It's something Scott and I have always wanted. We both, I enjoy riding. So, but I don't want a full helmet. I'm going to do that like half helmet. Yeah, isn't that nuts? Scott and I see that all the time. When he bought the bike, Diamond was on our way over. So then we drove back and picked it up. And Scott was pulling our driveway and he's like, "Oh shit." And I'm like, "What?" He pulled back in the driveway and he's like, "I gotta change my shoes." He was in his tennies. He went and got his work boots on. I can show you. So I can, yeah. Look. Everybody's like, well, see, we always wanted to buy one, but Scott's dad, he was kind of leery about motorcycles, so we always promised that we wouldn't get one until he was gone. And we weren't gonna buy one this year, actually. But there's our bike. Has the saddlebags. Come on, steady. Had the leather saddlebags on either side. Has a leather bag on top here, a little one. Um, like this hit the bit. I call it the bitch seat. Bitch seat ain't on this because his wife never rode, so he took it off. So Scott's got to get that back on the temporary seat until we can find the one I want. But I haven't even been on it. He said, "You want me to take you around the block, baby?" I said, "The pigs aren't even on it." Yeah, we got everything that goes along with having a rider on it. Oops. I don't mind bikes. Yeah, it's all the people around you. It's crop. Thing is I don't like ninja bikes or crotchets. Those people are. It's the driver, I should say. Because not every person's a bad bike rider. They do wheelies out on Lombardi on their crotch rockets or whatever they call them. I see them do it all the time. Put their nose up, to drive like idiots. My philosophy is, we got, well, be careful on the bike. Are you sure you and Scott want to do that? If it's our day, it ain't going to matter if we're on a motorcycle or a damn car. Nice. We always said we were going to get one after Xavier got out of the house, and then we found one from my brother-in-law, and Scott's dad wasn't comfortable with it. And so he told Scott, after I'm gone, you'll have some money. Go buy your bike. So we had no intentions of buying it before we got the house, actually. And no intentions of buying it this year. But 2001, 5,000. It's a 2001 Heritage Softail. We paid $5,000 for it. And we did our research. That was a good deal because we saw some on there for 18. And this thing is a beauty bike. And we know the owner. He took care of it. You could tell it was his baby. I told Scott, have any problems with it? Let me know. If it's something that I should have. And the thing is he winterized it every year, whatever. I don't remember, Dawn. It wasn't that many miles either, because that's what I asked. And he's the second owner. We are the third owner. And the first owner, I laughed because Scott knows the first owner of it. It was funny. Scott bought my bike. And that guy well maintained it. We're gonna stick to everything like the oil the guy put in it. Everything the guy did the same thing. Like the guy that we bought it from, he used the same oil that the previous owner bought it, and he's only had it 2 years. The first owner, he had it until 2 years ago when he decided to buy a newer bike, and this guy bought this bike. And Scott knows both of them. That's what's funny. Yeah, because when we were looking them up, some were out there for 1,800 or more than 18,000. I said, this guy, because I thought he said 15,000, And I'm like, what? Are you crazy? We need to get my thing was, we need to get the house before we buy the luxuries. He says, no, 5,000. 5,500, I want to say. Yeah, we were at the dealers. Yeah, we went to a Harley dealer. Because after rebath, I told Scott we could buy a motorcycle for the price they wanted to charge us for rebath. So we went to check on Dad to see if they put his information on the stone yet. So the Harley dealership is right there, and that's the same vicinity. So we decided to go be nosy. And they're not cheap for a brand new one. You have 2 cars each. Yep. And like I said to Scott, we were talking. He went to look at it yesterday. And I said, don't come home with it. He came home with it. Well, he didn't literally come home with it, but he came home with it. Because he said to me on Wednesday, yeah, because he said to me on Wednesday night, I have an appointment tomorrow. And I'm like, you didn't tell me you had an appointment. And I go, what's the appointment? And he shyly is walking away from me. Ah, cool. Um, kind of walks out of the craft room and says to Barney, look at a bike, mumbles. I'm like, excuse me, what'd you say? And then he told me, I'm like, I thought we discussed this. Well, then he started telling me, and I'm like, okay, there was no stopping him. And then he came back, took it for a ride. I didn't go with him because I was in the middle of helping Annette. I was going to go with him yesterday, but she was she's on the mode to get this house cleaned out now, big time. She wants, she's steady, steady, steady. So, um, we started doing, her and I started, we were doing that. So Scott went and looked at it. And then I didn't hear him when he got back that he bought it. And then when we were home, I said, what's up with the bike? He goes, I have to go pay for it tomorrow morning and pick it up. I'm like, oh, well, he was like a little boy in a candy store today. He's itching to ride it. So, and I told him he's going to ride it until we got it entitled and insured, which all can be dealt on Monday. And I've been already kind of looked up. It's only costing us. I, oh, I want extra insurance because he's on a motorcycle. So, mm-hmm. So I told Diamond I want good insurance on your dad on that motorcycle. Yeah. We have two vehicles and we only have one driver. But we always had Scott's dad's vehicle to back up if something happened to our vehicle because we, so that's why he gave it. That's why we got it. Plus, I never got a vehicle, so, but I don't drive. If I drove, I'd be driving a little white, what the hell is our car now? Equinox by Chevy. It's a nice little car. USB, I think they call it the US or no. Oh, it's an Equinox. That's the next thing Scott and I want is actually a camper, but we're not worried about that until next year. The house first, the rest of the house. When we're redoing our bedroom upstairs, the tiles, there are white tiles in our upstairs bedroom, and some are coming down. So we're gonna redo that. We looked up everything I want for my bathroom on Lowe's today. $1,000. Just that's a bathtub. That's just the bathtub, the vanity, the mirror. Cause Scott's dad's mirror is old, and it's like the one that kind of goes slides in the wall. So I'm replacing it with a new one. So is the mirror, or say the tub, brand new tub, cast iron tub. Um, the vanity, a new vanity, a new mirror. What am I? Oh, the tub surround, $790. That's just the basics. I didn't go fancy on the tub surround, and that's the thing. Me and Scott are. That's me and Scott are we're all kind of on the defense if we want to just do that white one where you just put it on, or if we want a tile. So we are going to make a trip tomorrow. He's like, what are we doing tomorrow? I'm like, nothing. And then I remembered Xavier and Chantel are coming over. So I have to figure out what time they're coming over because we want to go, we want to be kind of be prepared, Doesn't hurt to go window shop and know what we're looking at. price wise. That's what we're doing. Oh, you mean your from rebath? Yeah, 20K. That's nuts. And Scott's cousin Chalk, he told Scott, get the tile. I'll come down and do it, and I'll be done in less than a day, because that's what he does for a living. And so, and Chuck said, let me know. Yeah, $30,000, 30,750 to have rebath come in and redo my the bathroom. And I found the only thing is oh, and that's not the flooring, because me and Scott, we were gonna go linoleum, but we're gonna go with uh this bathroom flooring, and it's really nice. We looked at it, and Chuck's the one that told Scott about it, and I looked it up and I liked it. They had my color I'm going with too. Yeah. Oh, see, this bathroom's tiny. My bathroom's tiny, and what it's gonna cost is, and not really cost. It's gonna be our labor, because we're doing the bedroom first, because we want to get that so the bedroom's done. And then we're going to do the bathroom. I'm going to be painting in between Scott working in the bathroom. So we're not going to do the kitchen floor right away. That's But we're going to get the bath. So we're going to get the house painted, the bathroom or the bedroom. We're going to get the electrician up. As soon as Scott signs on a dotted line and I sign Tina L. Massey, and Scott signs his name, and that title's in our name, the electrician's coming in. Yep. And the furnace was main pipes and clean outs sucked. And that's $7,500 to have all the electricity updated, which we did not think was bad. We have to do the hill, and the electrician that doing it told us to say what he saved us. Is he told us to go buy our own sockets. So me and Scott were on Amazon, and I can get all the things that go inside, and then the covers. I buy them in bulk. And he says you can buy the material that way, and I can hook them up. He says, and you'll save almost $300-400 versus me to ordering them or whatever. He's handling the outlet. So the inside outlets we're gonna buy. The outside, because Scott's put 2 outlets for me on the outside of the house, so I can, when I put up my Christmas decorations, I'll have outlets in the front yard. He's there. The electrician's gonna do them. We had him use his material. Oh, we won't have a house payment. We won't have a house payment at all. It will be paid off outright. Scott signs on a dotted line. Yeah. No house payment. Yeah. We're looking at about, I pay $900 right now for rent. We are buying out his sister. Yeah. Well, Scott and I looked at it. We looked at what we needed to do to the house. So we're looking at $7,500 for the electric. Okay. The bedroom tiles, they just need work. But we looked at it, and Scott and I decided we're just going to redo it all. And we're looking at, that's why we want to go to Lowe's so we can check. We're going down to Scott's dad's tomorrow, measuring everything, so we know the ball frame. But by the time Scott and I are done, $250 for title change. And that's $250 regardless. The lawyer handles it, or yeah. So we're putting both our names on the house. Scott and I's both names going on the house right away, not just Scott's. We're putting both our names on it immediately. Let them dry. Okay. So how do I figure this out? $7,500 for the electrician. We don't know how much the bathroom or the bedroom that's going to cost. We need to look into that more. Right now, as it stands, for the bathroom, that's without paint or flooring, and new tub, new mirror, new vanity, and zinc was $790. And there's not much work because we took off, because the last person that took a bath in that bathtub was me 10 years ago. And I went to take a bath at Scott's dad's, and it just trickled. The shower had a lot of power. So I was telling Scott's cousin Chuck, he took the faucet off yesterday, and he says all these pipes need to be blown out. So he's going to bring down some equipment and you attach it to your pipes, and he's going to put this solution in there, and it'll clean out all the plumbing pipes. Because he says he could tell with his little snake he put down there that there's like buildup from not being used. Dad didn't take baths. That's why. Yeah. Yeah, probate is crazy. Well, the thing is the main probate and Scott's dad's, all his bills are paid. It's only a house that needs to be settled, and probate's closed. Yep. Funeral's paid for. The only thing is that we have to put, and like what Annette told me is that we have to come up with a date that Scott and I take it over. Okay. So we're pushing for June 1st. We're hoping that we can have it signed over to Scott and I June 1st, because then 6 months. Yeah, isn't June the 6 months? 6 month. Yeah, because we do that, then that's 6. The tax season, because that has to be escrowed or put in an account. And she just, like, her and Scott, like, as she put it, I'll just write a check out to the estate to you and Scott for your taxes. And if you don't, because we don't know how they pay, because Dad's estate has to take care of the taxes, up to 6 months. Well, as the lawyer said, it could a minimum of 6 months, but if the family are working, hi Charlene, if the family's working together, probate could be closed. So Scott and Ed are working together. So it comes down to just this house right now. Yeah. So that's where the lawyer told them to sit down, have the conversation, and negotiate the price of the house. Plus, so much has to be paid back to the estate. She owes the estate. We don't. So I don't know. It's, I'm not on the business end of it, but that's where we would take ownership on a one certain day. And then from that day back, the estate's responsible for the property taxes. And then we would start that year, say July 1st. From July 1st on, we'll be responsible for the taxes. So that all has to be figured out. That's why Scott's going to sit down with his sister. They're going to do it this upcoming week, work out the details, come up with the fair price of the house. And then they're going to set up an appointment with an attorney, and she's going to write up a thing. And then me and Scott can start going, painting. I could be in my craft room within 2 weeks. Because that room my craft room that I'm going in, all that's sitting in it is two dressers, two dressers, a nightstand, and a bookcase, which are leaving tomorrow, Sunday. So And that's okay with me already going in and washing walls. So me and Scott decided what we're gonna do is I already got the color picked out. I already got an extra my Scott's foster sister's grandson. He likes doing jobs on the side. He's gonna come over and help wash walls for me, especially the ceiling, because I can't do that with my vertigo. And he's also gonna help me paint. And that room will be done. And then I can start moving my craft stuff down. And that's okay with me and Scott moving in before it's actually in our name. And then the next room I'm going to do is the kitchen. I want to wash all the cupboards down. I want to wash inside the cupboards, and then I want to paint. We're not worried about the flooring in the kitchen right now. Scott's mom's linoleum. It's not too bad that it has to be done immediately. So, and then the next room we're going to do is the living room, because I'm getting new living room furniture. I've never had new living room furniture. So the deal with Scott, this is how I maneuvered. You get a bike, I get new furniture. And he's like, okay. So he already gave me my money for my furniture. So I have that in my underwear drawer. It's funny. We stuck a lot into Scott inherited a good amount. We stuck a lot into savings. We put so much in our other savings, and then we have another savings that we're not touching. So Scott's dad had 6 life insurance policies on him. Isn't that crazy? And they weren't like $1,000. They just got, yeah. We were stunned. We just got another letter from him. And the thing is he took every policy out at every job. He worked for um, Georgia Pacific, so he kept that policy up through his work. Yeah. And then he had investments. I told Scott, why didn't he spend any of his money? That's my thing. I told Scott, left it all to his kids. He didn't spend any of his money. All right, good night. Yeah. Oh, and I've been opening. You know how you get so much junk mail? Well, usually I realize it's junk mail, so I throw it away. Well, I've been opening them. Yeah. Yeah, 6 policies. Yep. And I opened this, said Met Life on it the other day. And I opened it, and it was like, Dear Mr. Massey, we were informed that David C. Massey, da 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 da. Would you please, the following, because we let his retirement through his work know that he passed away. Well, he had an insurance policy through that. And I don't know how that worked. But yeah. So we didn't, and Scott calls Annette. She goes, and it came to Dad. So I brought the letter home because it said Scott Massey on the envelope at Scott's dad's address. So I said, Scott, this is yours. I don't know what this is. Because I go down every other day and check the mail at Dad's. So it does, and then our mail, we have the same mailman. He'll let me know if, because all these stupid elections, those big things get Dad's. Our mailbox at Dad's is the kind that's in the wall and you slip it in. So if you got big mail, it'll stick out. You can't push it all the way through. So our mailman's pretty gracious. He'll ring the doorbell and say, yeah, you gotta go check Dad's mail. Dave's mail is poking out. I'm like, okay. Well, when I went to do that one day, because he told me it was poking out, he usually tries to get all the good letters through the mailbox, but then he's got these stupid advertisements. So, again, so I come back. I said, Scott, I just said, I don't know what this is, but you and Annette both got one. I said, well, then we open it up. Here's another life insurance policy through his work he took out. He's been paying on it all these years automatically. Yeah. So, and then that one, I don't, then they weren't, um, how do I put it? It wasn't like maybe a 3,000 beneficiary, like $3,000 each. Talking in the 30s, $40,000 range. This one we were both stunned. Yeah, that one that'll be coming in because him and Annette just filled that out this week, and she'll fax it back in because you can fax it in. So she's been doing that from her work. That one's going in savings. Yeah, so that's how we can the two the one policy he got is what's going to buy the house. So he always said we had enough to buy a house. That's what he said to Scott one day. When I'm gone, you'll be able to buy a house. He didn't think, yeah, because so he was right. We're buying a house. But you know what? Like Sue said, even me and Scott's foster sister said, Scott and I will be saving $900 when Scott goes back. Because right now, Scott's taking the summer off from work. We can afford to do it. His man, this is what he told me. He's going to work just to get insurance because we got insurance. He kept insurance for his job. He said, I'll work the winters and take off in the summers. That's what his plan if he plays it right. So he told me the other day. I'm like, you figure that out. Good for you. Yeah, they're working really well together. It's gonna, like I said, if there is gonna be any anger, it's gonna come down to the house because she thinks she found out when she talked to her realtor that she's working with it because she's looking at houses herself right now. That there's certain things that you can't just sell as is. So Scott told her, I'll take it on as is, but the price drops. And that would be any person coming in to Dad's house, seeing that the electricity's not up to code. The roof is on it. It's a 25, you know how they say roofs are 25 years? Dad's is at 24. Scott, the guy that put it on, we talked to him. We found Scott's dad's paperwork. We talked to him. He said 2 years, we could have 2 more years on the roof. So what me and Scott are doing is we're not going to worry about the roof this year. We're going to take, because we won't be paying $900 for rent anymore. We're going to put that in savings. Yeah, I'm hoping it goes smoothly too. I think she wants to go smoothly because she wants to be, this week when she popped up here, she was in such a mode to get this house done because she wants to be able to move in her house. She wants to get it all settled so she knows what she has to work with to buy her house because she has to pay so much back to the estate. Yep. And she knows it. So when it comes down to the house, because she can't because right now she's at $70,000 to the estate that she has to pay back. So that's why she first wanted us to sell the house. She was pushing to sell the house because she thought the house would be worth more. Well, she found out different. When you don't put any money or anything in a house for over 30 years, like Scott's parents, the last thing Scott's parents did in this house is they put a new garage up in 2001. Mom hasn't painted that house in 27 years. And the only reason I know that house hasn't been painted in 27 years is I was pregnant with Xavier. That's the last time a coat of paint went in that house. The bathroom's never been done. They refinished the tub. Yep. So I mean, like Diamond and Xavier call the carpet upstairs old 70 carpet. It's green. They bought it remnants or whatever for the upstairs. Now the bedroom that Scott and I are in that they could use new carpet. Me and Scott, we were talking about that tonight. Um, to me, the steps I laugh. You go up, it's green carpet, and then when you turn to go this way, it's this brown tone carpet, and it runs into Scott's room. But and then in Scott's the other room, it's a whole different carpet. So, and the thing is Scott's cousin. Scott knows how to do all that stuff. Scott's the thing is we have a roofer in the family. Scott and Chuck used to do a roofing. They used to roof together. Um, Scott's cousin Chuck, he's that's what he does for a living. He just told Scott he would have to be on his weekends off when he's not working at his regular job. But like he told Scott, the bathroom we could have, as he put it, one week in my bathroom could be done because it's small. The bathroom is tiny. It's not very big. It's you walk in, it's tub, vanity, toilet. There's really not a lot of room in that toilet or that bathroom at all. I forgot, me and Scott, we're measuring everything out tomorrow. Like Chuck said, look for what you guys want. Go. And I could, when we were in Home Depot today and I didn't like anything Home Depot like. And we have Menards and Lowe's. That's all that's around me. And Lowe's is 30 minutes, 35 minutes. We got the trailer. So I went on Lowe's and found everything I wanted from Rebath on Lowe's. I couldn't get over the price difference. So I said, and I didn't get in the light fixtures either. Or like the faucets and all that. I didn't go down that one yet. But the vanity, the tub. The only thing is I'm not getting the, I was going to get a jet tub, the jet's in it. And what I've read, yeah, I'm not doing it. I was told not to get a jet tub. So we're not going to get a jet tub. We're just going to get a regular cast iron. And we're going cast iron tub. We're not going fiberglass either. That was something Scott wanted. So I found everything I found. The only thing is I have to ask the sales guy because when I get to Lowe's, the vanity I want is a gray tone. In the mirror, I couldn't find it in the same gray tone. And I want my mirror. Hi, Lisa. So, I have to ask if I can order that the vanity because it's only 18 inches. It's probably the size of my Tim Holtz right here because my bathroom's so small. So it's all zinc. But I want the vanity part to be the vanity in the mirror to match. So if I have to go with white, I go with white. I am not picky. It's a bathroom. He's showering. It's not like yes, Scott spends more time in the bathroom than I do. Just saying. Hold my hand up once. It is. I got it sitting right here because I keep replying my the same nail polish. It is LA Gears 424. I think I got it at the Dollar Tree. I like the blue. It's very pretty. It's a very pretty blue. I'm almost out. Oh, what the hell? Yeah. I've been putting the same polish on since my father-in-law's funeral. No, I haven't. It was a lighter blue for my father-in-law's, and I lost the bottle. And it was a really, I paid $10 for a bottle of nail polish. I never did that in my entire life. Well, it probably doesn't, Lisa, but I'm so rough when I craft. But Allie's has the same polish. I polished her nails last weekend, and hers don't look rough. Yeah, so Me, I'm too rough on my nails. That's why you don't see a nail polish on me too often. But I didn't buy this one, but I bought a lighter, like this color blue. That color blue for my father-in-law's funeral right here. And I couldn't find it. I was so mad. I paid $9, almost $10 at Target for that nail polish. And I'm like, Diamond. She's like, what? I said, you know where the nail polish that I bought for Grandpa's funeral went? She goes, oh, I took it home. I'm like, wait a minute. I didn't know if you wanted it. I'm like, why wouldn't I wanted it? Well, yeah, I'm always crafting. And the thing is I stayed my nails so much underneath. Well, they're pretty clean because I washed dishes and I was washing stuff today or yesterday. But if I don't, people think I probably never washed. I got workman's nails. You know how a mechanics they get that grunge underneath the tip of their nails and it looks black all the time. That's how my nails usually look, and it's from painting. It's like black, and I have to have a stone removed. Ooh, that's thyroid. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Lisa. You know, let's see what's going on in my life. My father-in-law passed away on March 6th. And we're in the process of buying his house. So I will be moving. And probably our goal is to be our lease is up here July 1st. Thank you. He was 79 years old and he lived a very long life, good life. And he's been missing my mother-in-law for 15 years. I miss him, but I'm not devastated. Yep, we're moving 6 houses down. Literally 6 houses away. Yep. We want to have a house payment, so I don't have to work as hard. Because we're paying the house totally off. Yeah, I have a bigger craft space. So we want to get things going on a house. We're going to be redoing the bedroom. It needs some TLC. My father-in-law has not touched that house in 15 years. And before then, I was telling everybody the last time that house was painted was 27 years ago. And everybody's like, how do you know this? Nobody believed me. Scott didn't believe me, and Annette didn't believe me until guess what? My in-laws didn't throw nothing away. They kept everything. They found the living room paint down in a cupboard, and it was dated 1996. They're like, how do you remember that? Um, I said, because I could not, Mom would not let me come in the house. I said, because I was pregnant with Xavier. I said, the kitchen, then the bathroom, and the hallway were painted when I was pregnant with Xavier. I said 27 years ago. And then in 2000, Mom and I picked out the same paint because she liked it. The color I picked out for my living room, that she did the same, repainted her living room the same color I did. It was weird because my living room, for some reason, they were both, all the paint was mixed in front of us, okay? Her living room paint came out darker than mine, and she was so mad. But she left it. She wasn't dealing with it. Where mine, when we painted my living room, same paint, same coat, the whole 9 yards, was a little lighter. She was upset. Wasn't too dark, but hers came out darker, and we thought, what the hell? And that was in 2000. And in 2008, my mother-in-law died. And the bathroom at my in-laws hasn't the vanity Scott was telling. I always say 30 plus years because I've been in with Scott, be 31 years come July. So 30 plus years, that bathroom has looked the same as the day I started dating Scott. So the bathroom's being redone. The bedroom upstairs hasn't changed since Scott was little. So we're redoing the bedroom right away. Our master bedroom, we call it. And then the electricity had to be updated. That's being done. When we titled everything up, because we could go buy if we really wanted to, but the houses on the market are crazy. Just crazy on the market right now for a house. For the money that we have to put in to make, I mean, I can move in and live in this house with no problem. Okay. The only thing we'd have to do is update, if I didn't want to paint the walls. What's a gallon of paint or two? It's going to take me 3 gallons probably to paint the living room. But we're going to redo the master bedroom. It needs it has tile ceilings, those little weird square tiles. And me and Scott when Dad was sick, we were laying in bed upstairs. And I said to Scott, look at this. I said, is it me or does that one look like it's coming down? And we don't know for sure if we actually have to replace them. We just noticed like some were coming, it looked like they were coming down. So Scott and I are going to go check that out tomorrow. Because maybe because we don't know how they were put up. Okay? We don't know if they're the type of tile that you just pushed up and it had those, like I was telling Scott, because my grandfather had the bigger one. Scott's parents had the small square one. I said to Scott, how are they being held up? He goes, I don't know. I said, because if they're anything like my parents, I said, there's this little frames that hold them up. I said, because my grandpa used to be able to just pop it up and take one out. That's how old this is. I don't care. It's a freaking bedroom. Who's going to see, in my opinion, And I said, if that's the case, we probably could get away with, they probably just need to be resituated. I said, and I bet you I could clean them and paint them. And he's like, huh. It's got not about this tone paneling in the bedroom. So I'm going to whitewash it. Because Scott wanted to tear the paneling down. I'm like, you ain't tearing that paneling down. What? I said, I got a trick for the paneling. And I showed him today. And he liked it. And he goes, what are you going to do? We'll say this is the paneling. I'm going to have to wash the wall. We have to wash the walls anyways. I said, I just take a little white. Real on a brush. I don't got the right brush because let's see. I'll use this one. Not a lot of paint on a brush. And you just go like this. And you just add white to it. Well, I got too much, but you just do the white. So it's not covered all the paneling. Let's do it on here. It'll just look like that. This is what my room will look like. And that's what I'm going to do upstairs on the paneling. It'll look better. Yeah. And he's like, you're okay with that? I'm like, yeah, it's my idea. Because the master bedroom, the bigger room upstairs was actually going to be my craft room. Except Scott's dad told me the one front room downstairs, he wanted me to have that as a craft room. So, and I told Scott, I don't want to go up and downstairs with water every time I need new water for my paint. Sorry, ladies, I'll be right back. I have to run downstairs get water. I go in the kitchen. It's not too far. My kitchen's not too big, but it's big enough. It's a nice little house. I'll do a walkthrough video. I'm gonna do a whole walkthrough video once everything's like kind of out. And show yous, and I'll do a before and after video. Because right now there's a lot of stuff kind of here and there. It's a 4-bedroom house, technically. I say 3. These are magnets. I can't remember what side of painting, but I'll do it again. So I'm just adding the coat of paint on them. And then we're going to do them. I got yapping, so I'm just letting them dry a little bit. That's the back side. Let's see. The edges. Oh, see, I missed the edge. Edges more is what I'm worried about more than anything here. Because that's what they're going to see. I won this from Kathy's World. I won a giveaway back in, was her Valentine giveaway. And I won it. Matter of fact, my father-in-law was still alive when I got it, because my father-in-law and I have the same mailman. And I caught the mailman. I'm like, I have a box. Can you drop it off here? And he's like, yeah, no problem, Tina. And Scott's dad thought he ordered something and didn't remember. I said, no, that's the prize I won, Dad. And he's like, what you win? So I showed him. He made a comment. I think the gal forgot to put the kitchen sink in that box because they couldn't believe how much stuff she got in that box, a medium-sized box. So I'm going to have a very active summer. Oh, and my husband and I bought a Harley today. We're all excited. We're going to Sturgis next year, he says. We're excited. We bought our bike. We put off buying a bike for years. We've had many of opportunities. And Scott's dad was never comfortable knowing that we were on a motorcycle. So we didn't do it because of his anxiety. So we bought Scott's friend from work was selling his in 2001 soft tail. Beautiful bike. The only thing is it's black. I always told Scott I wanted a turquoise pinstripe. I can show you. It's not a very good picture. But we didn't. It's not a very good picture of Scott on the bike itself, but that's our bike. I even got boots. He had a pair of boots that the guy had that fit me. Harley Davidson boots too. They fit me better than they fit Scott. So but yeah, that's our baby. I have to name it. But yeah. It's got the leather bags on each side of the tire. There's one up here for sunglasses. It's got the electric start. So cool. Yep, I gotta go get helmets. Well, Wisconsin doesn't have a helmet law, but me and Scott are getting helmets. We just gotta go get them. We're going to do that next week or tomorrow. I don't remember. I won't be on that bike for at least 2 months. I told Scott to get it out of the system because he hasn't. Scott he's rode bikes, but not constantly. And God, 27 years. He sold his motorcycle 32 years ago. A year before him and I started dating, he sold his Harley. Yeah. I'm wearing a helmet. I'm buying it. I won't. I will. I'm not buying a full face one because I can't handle a mask. I'm buying one. If anybody watched Son of Anarchies, I am buying the half shell. And then I was looking tonight because I haven't looked at. I've always worn a helmet when I rode a bike, even with my brother-in-law. Actually, I had a $400 helmet my brother-in-law bought for me because I'd ride with my brother-in-law, and it would always stayed with him so that somebody else had, um, if somebody hopped on the bike, his passenger he would make his passenger ride or wear a helmet. And well, he passed away, and I don't know whatever happened to my helmet. So I gotta go helmet shopping. We're gonna go right to the Harley dealership because when Hawk and I went to buy my helmet, they measured me and everything. And but he kept it on the bike with the bike in his saddlebag. I never kept it because I didn't need it. It was and because technically, what I found out from the Harley dealership years ago, the helmet should be yours, fit for you, nobody else. So that's and Scott says he's gonna get one, just in case. Either way, he's gonna one just in case he's in a different state. We have to have them because we want to go to South Dakota, and I think there's helmets law in South Dakota. I don't know, but whatever. Either way, I wish he'd wear a helmet, but I'm not. It's his choice. I believe in it's a choice. But I will have the helmet on and decent sunglasses. I can't handle face shields or a full helmet. I can't because I have PSD. Yeah. Anything covers the front of my face, I freak. I had a hard time wearing a mask during COVID. So I'm getting a half helmet, that cover, But I was looking, to got off track. I was looking at helmets today where you can get a half helmet with this neck thing. So your head won't go, like whiplash. It'll stop. It won't have like the face shield. It covers like from my forehead up around my ears. Then it has this thing from the neck. $400 some, but I guarantee it's better. Yeah. Well, I've had so many surgeries as a kid, and you put anything over my nose, I freak from all the surgeries. When I had to have my gallbladder surgery, they had to give me a sedative before I even went to the table because I had a panic attack. Because I woke up having eye surgery, so I couldn't the mask. My doctor wrote me a slip so that if somebody gave me grief during the pandemic, yeah. Oh yeah, I'm wearing a helmet. Maybe 20 years ago, Lisa, I'd tell you different, but not anymore. Yeah. And it's not my husband's driving I'm scared about. You know what I mean? It's everybody else's. Yep. So we're going to bike helmet shopping. I think we're going to go do that and go look at them tomorrow morning. Because I know they have to probably order them. Because I remember when Hawk bought my helmet, and you're talking 20 years ago, we're awesome. I always I watch your videos all the time. Matter of fact, I saw you and Mike load one today. But as I say, I've been out of the loop. I tell you, because since, let's see, my father-in-law, the last 5 years has gone slowly downhill. But since November, Scott and I we could tell a big change in him. And then in February, I got a cold, and he was forgetting things, and we were noticing little things more often. And then almost 2.5 weeks, so he was in hospice care. A week, and Scott and I did a week, and then so we didn't. His sister's, why didn't you call me? I could go in a whole detail about my sister, but I ain't going to. But we fought a couple times. He fell. One time the oxygen was unplugged and he didn't say anything. I was going down there every other day and spending time with him more and more and more. That he fell. I had to help him up. And we told him, yeah, that come spring we're moving down there regardless. And that certain family members just had to get used to the fact that we were moving in because I was spending more and more time. Scott was spending more and more time down there with him. And we were doing everything for him other than, but yeah, we weren't wiping his butt yet. But we were doing the housework. We were doing the yard work. We've been doing the yard work for over 20 years. Yeah. And so when we discovered him with the oxygen, and I said to Scott, I could look back. I probably noted it in my journal. I was there Tuesday, and I said to him, Dad, you're not looking well. Are you okay? He had this. I knew him so well that I could tell when he wasn't feeling good. And I remember in January, because his key fob started acting up, so we ordered one off Amazon. We were getting it to work, but we were trying to take his keys away because we didn't want him to drive anymore. But we didn't want him to get upset because we were taking the keys away. So we used the key fob as an excuse that it was back ordered, and so we got away with 2 weeks. And then another week. So we almost went the whole month of January into February without Scott's dad driving. Thank you. So we finally fixed this key fob. And then when we did get it, we had it. We couldn't pull it too much longer. Sam finally gets it programmed, and we he used it to unlock the car, and it went on anti-theft. So we had to figure that out. I'll be right back. I have to go use the ladies' room. In January, actually in Christmas, this is how I consider it. I'm going to tell you straight up. Don't come into my house and unplug shit you're not supposed to unplug. To plug in your cell phones. Why would you do that at somebody's house? Do you understand me? Do you get what I'm saying? Come in, start unplugging stuff so you can plug in your charger with your cell phone in. Okay? So, when Sam and I were working, Sam was working, my son-in-law, Sam, by the way, was working on the key fob. I said to Dad, are you feeling okay? I said, you don't look great, I said to him. I said, you look tired. He goes, yeah, I didn't sleep good last night. And the thing is I usually put that little fingertip on my father-in-law's finger to check his oxygen because he had COPD and he had to wear oxygen. And I got sidetracked probably with Sam coming in or something. Well, that was Tuesday. And I even said to Scott, when I talked to Scott on Wednesday morning, I said to Scott, Dad didn't look great I said to me on Tuesday. I said, he said he didn't sleep well, but his skin color was just off to me. And so Scott says, okay. Well, then Scott got called into work earlier that Wednesday because Scott was swinging through and spending 2 hours before work with Dad. But Scott got called in that Wednesday early to work, so he didn't get to swing in by Dad on Wednesday. Well, at 9:30, 9:45 in the morning on Thursday, my father-in-law calls me, which is very unusual for my father-in-law to call me in the mornings because we all knew that he slept till about 1 o'clock. in the afternoon because he'd go to bed about 3:30. I could check on him because I could see what he was watching on face. He'd be on Facebook, and I'd say good evening, Dad. He'd be like, good evening. What are you doing? And I'd be like, what are you doing? And he would be watching live feeds over in Africa, watching the wild animals. That was Dad's thing. So he called me, and I could hear in his voice right away. Here, his oxygen machine was unplugged since Christmas. It's 2 weeks in January, and he never told Scott and I. I know I'm a big brat. And he got to where he wouldn't tell Scott and I things because it was only Scott and I taking care of him. And he kept on saying, all we ever heard from him is, I'm such a burden to you kids. I'm such a burden to you. And that one scared me. And then when we found him, I found him one day, he fell. And then Scott found him another day and he fell. And my father-in-law looked like a concentrate camp survivor. Skin and bones. His appetite, he wasn't eating much. I could hardly get him to eat um, soup. Half a can of soup if I could get him to eat it. That really bothered me. That's the hardest thing I told Scott that bothered me is I couldn't get him to eat much. It's very hard when a person doesn't have an appetite and they just don't want to eat. So that's when me and Scott told him that when the spring hit, we were moving in with him, and he told us, I'll be gone by then. I don't lie. That's for sure. He proved us right, eh? So I said to Scott, he don't kid around. He wasn't kidding. He made up his mind. He was going. See, my mom's cousin Roger calls me Brat. His wife thinks it's terrible. She's just like, why do you call her Brat? He goes, because she was that little bratty kid that bothered me when, And to this day, he still calls me Brat. He messaged me on my birthday. Happy birthday, Brat. Sorry about you, because my brother-in-law died on the 6th. My birthday was the 7th. So I got a message from Happy birthday, Brat. And so sorry about the loss of your father-in-law. Sucks, he goes, that it's so close to your birthday. But, it's no big deal. I was like, oh, well, what can you do? He didn't go on my birthday because I begged him not to go on my birthday. So he didn't go on my birthday. But, yeah. And I can remember as a little girl because what am I? I'm 51. So Roger's got to be at least, I'm 51. Roger's got to be at least 63, 64, something like that. And he always had big hands when I was a little girl. And when it was her birthday, he'd just reach in his pocket and give me all his change. And I always thought I got a lot of money because his hands were always so big. I'm probably only got $1. Yeah. He says, I laugh. He tells me all the time I'm the only cousin because my mom was his favorite cousin. And he always liked me, my mom's kids versus the rest, because he doesn't have children. He was an only child, and he didn't want children himself. So the closest thing he has godchildren, and his cousins, children. And he always says, I only like Pat's kids. That's my mom. All right. Got all the edges now. Let them dry a few seconds here. And I really don't need to do the back because the magnet's going on the back. And you're not going to see the front because that's where the sticker's going. So let's look good. I'm just doing one more coat on each front of them. I got the sides done. Is my internet good, guys? Because guess what? That freaking Spectrum, I tell ya. Stupid idiots. Tell me it's my computer. Because what? My son came over last night. Because Saber's buying a house. Yeah, talk about the summer. My son getting married, and they put an offer on a house. So he's all excited to tell us. So when he was here last night, I'm like, buddy, he's like, what? I said, well, you look at my computer. He's like, what's going on, Mom? I told him. He goes, it's not your damn computer. It's Spectrum. Stupid idiots. So he went down, moved the Wi-Fi box. He couldn't move it all the way upstairs, but he got it moved differently, so it's closer to my room up here. Because I'm like, I told Scott, because Scott's like, well, if it's your computer, we'll just go get you a new computer. I'm like, I am not buying a new computer. Not yet. He's like, what? I said, what if it isn't the computer? I said, they put the damn box in the basement. I said, I've had this problem off and on. I said, they just had a power outage. I said, and I was fine until they had a power outage. So I go, if my computer starts acting up after I get moved to Dad's, because right now this is my craft room. This is how the bottom of my house is. It's bathroom, my craft room, office. Okay, which technically this is a bedroom. The Wi-Fi is hooked up right here in the office. I'm gonna have, when they come to, when I switch over, I'm actually gonna have them put the Wi-Fi in my craft room. This can't be that hard. Scott was looking. He's like, no, it doesn't look hard at all. But yeah, I've always had off and on. Every time there's a power outage, my Wi-Fi gets screwed up. And then I called and spent, because I pay, it's 500 Mbp or whatever it is, okay? And she's like, well, you have to be next to the Wi-Fi box to check your speed. I'm like, that it makes no sense to me. I said, if that's the case, why would people do Wi-Fi? I was at 60% on my HP here the other day. 60. Take the tablet to your Wi-Fi box and see what it goes. Well, yeah, it's going to run speed quicker. I'm right next to it, you freaking idiot. Of course it's going to be faster. So Xavier moved things down a little bit downstairs. So now it's more, instead of being on closer to over in the living room, it's about here, right above me, or right below me. But I told Scott, I'm not getting a new computer. This computer's only a year old. Told the lady, because she's like, maybe it's your equipment. Maybe it's too old. I'm like, I get that computer stuff. Once you buy it, it's obsolete. Yeah. I said, but I only bought it a year ago. I laughed. I said to Scott, from their apartment 2 blocks. Yeah, so it's going to be easy move for them as well. It's a cute 2-bedroom house. They don't have a garage, but they got the driveway to build the garage on. They got a shed for a lawnmower and all that in the backyard. It's got a fenced-in yard. Finished half. The basement's semi-finished, I guess you would call it. Bedroom, the kitchen's beautiful. Yeah. I think it's in their price range. Yeah. We gave them $10,000 for a down payment. We used one insurance, because one life insurance that Scott's dad had was $20,000. So we split that up between the kids. We gave them, Diamond doesn't know this. We haven't seen her to tell her. We split that one up. We gave Xavier $10,000 to put on a house, and we're going to tell Diamond we're actually going to put it in a savings, but she has to use it for a house. or she doesn't get it. Yeah, our father-in-law was generous in doing why he had all these life. I don't understand why he had all these life insurance policies, but who knows? Like I said, one was for like 20,000. He had some were huge. So we decided, Scott and I talked about it, taking that 20,000 because he went to Scott's dad before Scott's dad got sick and asked about borrowing for a down payment on a house, him and Chantel. Well, then Scott's dad got sick. And they were like, oh my God, what are we going to do? Because he said he would help them, but they needed to get him more information. He mentioned it to Scott and I. He was going to give them $4,000. Well, $4,000 ain't squat. So, well, then his unexpected life insurance policy came up, another one, and then me and Scott decided to made a decision. It's not my money. I don't look at it as my money because I didn't inherit it. It's all Scott. But him and I discussed it, so we took this one that's got for $20,000, and we decided to give each one of the kids $10,000 for a down payment on a house. But they have to use it on a house. They just don't get handed it. So we're putting diamonds in a savings so that when Sher and Sam down the road, if they choose to, they have a down payment on a house. We haven't told them. But they got a good living on the res. I wouldn't buy a house if I was Diamond and Sam. But, or like I told Scott, because right now Diamond and Sam living on the res, they pay nothing to live on the res, basically, really little. I told Diamond I wouldn't I wouldn't buy a house when you live on the res and you rent. You'd be crazy to buy a house. Or Scott, like Scott said, we pay off one of her student loans once she finishes school. We're trying to be fair for each kid. So, well, we're not just going to hand and say, hey, here's this, go have fun. No. Oh, I moved so many times, Tammy, when I was a kid, I couldn't tell you. I've moved less as an adult than I did as a child. I think that's why I don't like moving. That's why I've stayed here for almost 11 years. So, they're pretty much dry. And now, I get to put these on. But I'm going to go grab me a soda and I'll be right back. I just wish the home market wouldn't be so high because I can't believe the price that this house that Diamond, supposed to be thinking of me, Saber and Chantel are looking at probably was maybe a $70,000 house but 2 years ago. Now it's $149,000. Then that's so. Let's see. I painted. I didn't even follow. So we sanded. Yep. We painted. Yep. What? I don't worry about that one. Now we're going to cut out each rub-on and carefully center it on the block. Okay. So, but is it, my future daughter-in-law can't have children, so it's only going to be Xavier and her. And a dog and a couple cats. So a two-bedroom little house for him and Chantel, that's all really they need. But they're tired of paying rent, like Zibber says. Because that was when he came to talk to us. That was one of the things we were like, can you guys afford this? It's not. They're like, we're paying $800. Oh, they just raised Xavier's two-bedroom apartment to $800. He's like, Mom, my house payment's only because what they figured out with the banker, with their tax, because me and Scott said their mortgage had to include their taxes, insurance. So they got that all figured out. And Chantel works at a bank anyways. I don't know who the loans through, but she knew what I was exactly talking about. So their house insurance as well as their taxes are going to be included in their mortgage payment. $1,000 a month. Their mortgage is going to be. Isn't that crazy? $1,000 a month. But they're already paying $800, and they got notice that their rent's going up to $900 in 3 months. Because he showed me the letter. We're giving a generosity, so we'll be raising a rent to $900 starting da-da-da-da-da. And they're nailing everybody that's lived there who is not on a lease. So, hi, Candy. So, that's why they decide we're going to go see what we can buy. Yep. And they don't fix squat in Xavier's apartment. When he first moved in there, 4 years? 2016, he was paying $525. That's how much his rent has gone up since. Yep. So I can't blame for them. At that amount of money, I think I would put it toward my own house too. It's just finding a house that's affordable. Because they got Xavier and Chantel's income, they could have borrowed almost $400,000. And they chose not to go that high. Because then they're looking at a higher house payment. But this house that they found is cute. We're going to go look at it with them. Once they were going to put an offer in, or however that works. It's been years. But, because it came on the market and they were the first couple that saw it. And so they were going to, nobody else looked at it. So they were on it like flies on rice, I guess. That's the way I can put it. It's the first one that they were happy with. Because they've been looking at it, the houses 2 months now, Xavier and Chantel. And they haven't found one that, the only downfall, it doesn't have a garage. But Xavier said, I can live without a garage. The guy tore down the garage because it was crappy. And it's all paved to put the garage up there. Except for the garage. Yeah, it's already got the cement driveway and the foundation to put a garage in it. He just didn't do it. So I'm open. I know. That's why me and Scott, $900. And I live in a duplex, and he lives in a 2-bedroom apartment, and they don't do shit. And my water's included in his water's included in his apartment. Because he's like, what do you pay for your duplex? I said, $900. I'm lucky, actually. $900 I paid for my duplex on this side. The other side pays $1,400. Yeah. So me and Scott, when they bought, they didn't come and do anything on this side. That's why ours was cheap. And we were okay with it. I lived, all this time. But I guarantee once we move out, when he redoes this side, he'll probably, no, we're not. I talked to my landlord. We're not renewing our lease. He just told us that give him notice. Because he told me if you, like he says, if you clean your craft room out, Tina, if I'm okay in there to come in and paint, he says, and do the floor, he'll work with us. So that's why when we pick a date, I will give notice to him. That's why me and Scott, when I start, yep, we're buying it, Candy. We just have to sit down, him and his sister, do the final details. So we're going to give our notice, and that's what we told Annette. We'd like to give our landlord the notice July 1st. So that gives us July. And that's the thing. When you give notice, does it count that July and August, or is it August to September? I don't know how that works. I've never gave a note, Yep. So, well, my sister-in-law is buying looking at a house tomorrow for $399,000 or $349,000 on 4 acres of land. Her payment, I asked her, what's your payment going to be? She goes, about $1,000. I'm like, how do you figure? She's putting 50% down. So we'll go say she gets the house. We'll go $300,000. She's putting 50%. So basically, she's putting half down. She's still going to have a mortgage of $150,000. She thinks her payments are going to be like $800. I don't think so. That's what Scott. She ain't going to. Yeah. I don't get like Scott and I. That's why me and Scott decided to buy Scott's dad's house, because we looked around at neighboring houses. We wouldn't have no little leeway money, So we're gonna buy Scott's dad's house, do the little remodeling. We're gonna be saving $900 a month rent. We still pay. The only thing that's included here is water, so we'll have water there. And I looked at and I said to Scott, so a water bill at Dad's, who was only one person, was for 3 months at Dad's was $90. So I said, okay, 3 months, just go double that. But we'll in the long run we're saving. And I'd be them. I'd buy a house and not have a house payment. But they didn't do it when they got their settlement. They ain't going to do it this time. The thing is, I said to Scott, that to me, that's just, oh, shoot. That's just crazy to me. Oh, it's got a pond. It's got 4 acres of land. And the thing is he's, because, this is funny. I have to tell you this one. Okay. Scott and I had a snowblower and a riding lawnmower when we moved in here. Scott's dad had 2 riding lawnmower with a bagger, okay, to pick up leaves. And then when he sold the cottage, he had a lawnmower. So here we're sitting with 3 lawnmowers at Dad's house. So him, Dad, and I, we made the decision to sell our rider lawnmower and our snowblower, because Scott was doing our yards and Dad's yards. So instead of having 3 lawnmowers and 2 snowblowers, we sold ours, and Dad sold the lawnmower from up north. He had a rider, nice Scott's lawnmower. And we kept the Husqvarna that had the attachment, so when we do the leaves, so you could just dump, it blows them in and I dump them. And it had a nice gray trailer. So she says yesterday, I might need I want the lawnmower. Scott goes, I looked at her, Scott goes, you ain't getting a lawnmower. Well, I'm getting 4 acres of land. I might need a rider. She goes, that's on you. That's my lawnmower. And everything that goes with it. That was the deal with Dad and I. That if we sold ours, we got his. No matter if we got the house. Because We sold ours. It didn't make sense to have all these lawnmowers and a snowblower. Now she's because this guy's like, no, the snowblower, lawnmower, the trailer, um, that's mine. And Sue was sitting there, Scott's foster sister, and says, yeah, that's Scott's dad. And then she shut up right away. Just because you're going to buy 4 acres of land and don't have a rider, you know. Scott's like, oh, hell no. Lawnmower's mine because we don't. So Scott goes, so Tina and I are going to be left out, but you won't be. This one turned out so. I'm cutting in and out now. Yeah. Oh. Well, if I end up losing news, I'm sorry. See, it didn't get it all. There's a lot on that. Let's see if I can fix this. Yeah, I just realized the H. I'm going to have to smooth this down better. I just realized there's some of the H still stuck here. Can't hear you. Oh. I don't know why I'm going in and out. Let me know if it fixes. Sometimes that happens. It'll fix. I realized it the other day, so we'll see. I heard you, Don. You hear me fine? Okay, I heard my phone. Where's my phone? No. Okay. All right. They're gonna be cute little magnets if I can get it all. I hate these rub-ons. I'm terrible at them. I'll be honest. Well, that looks better than what it was. So, all right. This one says plant dreams and grow happy life. Looks pretty centered to me. Okay. Well, at least I know it wasn't me. I'm glad. Because, like I said, I've been having trouble. I'm going to Zaber try to see if he can fix this best possible. Like I said, I ain't buying a new computer until I move to Dad's. And if I run into the same trouble at Dad's, then I know it's my computer. But you're like, it must be your computer, ma'am. I'm like, if your other devices aren't having trouble. I'm like, yeah, because you told me to go downstairs with my devices. I can't go downstairs with my HP. It's, I could, but it'd be a pain in the butt. So, but Scott said, because Scott was really, well, let's go get you one. Because he knows I like doing this. So, which I missed. I've been missing going live. We're old. We're way old. We're way old ladies. I'm an old lady. Quota says that. Nana, you're an old lady now. You're over 50. Yeah. Love my grandkids. Yep, I'm an old lady now. I'm over 50. That's what he told me. Thanks, Coda. I love you too, my boy child. Yep, I'm old now because I'm over 50. And then, okay, this was the first death that my grandkids really had to deal with. I mean, they lost a neighbor, Kevin, but they didn't go to Kevin's service. They just knew he passed away and stuff. So now all the questions, especially Riley, you're not going to die soon, are you, Nana? And I'm like, and I said, Riley, I said, I never know. That's the question I can't answer for you, honey. Why? I'm like, because you never know when you're going to die. Well, you really? I'm like, yeah. So I said, me too. And I'm like, I'm trying to not scare her, you know? So the other night when we were at Diamonds, we sat the kids down because Riley's been asking a lot of questions like that. And I didn't know how to answer them. So Diamond, she's doing that college education. She's getting to know that. Handled it. And we explained that we're not having big funerals like Double G and that, death happens regardless what age, all that. Well, I'll be sad if I lose you, Nana. I'm like, I'll miss you, I hope I'm older, way older before I go. Because I want to see my grandkids become adults. Riley's only 7. I remember losing my grandmother. I'm gonna knock on wood here. Losing my grandmother when I was 7 years old was painful. So, but yeah, I was telling, because I watched the kids a little bit for Diamond and Sam the other night, and that was the conversation. She goes, "What'd you say?" I told her I couldn't tell her when I would die. So then we were going over the next night for dinner, and that's when we decided to have a little talk. Because she was worried that me and Papa were going to die like Double G, because, they saw him. They came and visited him, and then 5 days later, he was gone, and they... I could not have kids. See, my future daughter-in-law can't have children either. And the risk is too high for her. So they are choosing not to have children. To even take that, that risk is too high for her as well as the child if they would get pregnant. So she's very cautious on that, and so is Xavier. And I told her there's always adoption. And if you don't have children, you don't have children. If they say your life, I said, is more important than a child. In my opinion, okay, don't get me wrong. I'd have loved to see little Xavier's running around, grandchildren. But I said the child could die or she could die in pregnancy, and my son would be devastated. So to even take that chance. Oh, see that one? Oh, I really thought I did good on that one. Man, all that rubbing on that, and I thought I got it all. So, I have 4-legged grandchildren with him. Yeah. She's got some disease, though. I don't remember what it's called. They advised her not to have children. So, And I forgot what she told me because she explained it, but I couldn't tell you the name of why she can't have children. It could kill her. There we go. That's not bad. Little off right there, but it doesn't look bad. Oh Jesus. Well, Chantel, whatever it's, I can't remember what it's called, but it's made her or gain a lot of weight, and that's what caught her attention. Is I can't remember what the hell it is now. Oh, I can't remember the name. Teresa always knows. Where are you, Teresa? She'd be able to tell you because she knew exactly what I was talking about. And yeah, and then I read up on it, but I can't remember the name of it right now. But yeah, so because she thought I wouldn't like her because I'm such that she couldn't have children, and then when she told me, I'm like, no, 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 no. Well, Scott's dad didn't help it. PCOS, yeah, I think that's it. Because Scott's dad always told Xavier that he was his namesake because Xavier's the last Massey, you know, his son's son, and Chantel and Xavier. Xavier goes, "What do I tell Grandpa? I'm not having children." I said, "Don't even tell him. Don't even worry about it." So he never told Grandpa that that Chantel couldn't have children. I told Chantel, if he says something like that, just let it go. That's just the grandfather's legacy. I said, he'll, so don't worry about it. I said, and I guarantee if you actually sat down and explained why you couldn't have children, he'd probably be on your understand. But they didn't. They just let him believe that someday, when he mentioned it, Xavier, well, you get a house, are you gonna have kids? That was his reply. And Xavier says, well, maybe a few years after we get the house, Grandpa, because Chantel's only going to be 23, where Xavier's 27, so she's kind of young yet. But I'm just that's what Xavier goes. So we want to pay off more of Chantel's student loan. They didn't tell her because I said don't even mention it. He won't know. He'll be gone. So don't hurt his whole concept of having, you know, there's a lot of other Masseys, just won't be his lineage. Scott's got my father-in-law's brothers. Each one had 5 and the other had 9 kids, so it's not like the math. And it's 3 boys on one side and 5 boys on the other. So it's not like this lineage of the Massey name is gone totally. It's just saying dad's name, my father-in-law, but his brother's family is carrying it on. So well, I'm doing better on this one. And like I told Chantel, who knows? In a few years, they may have a better solution for that PCOS. And she's like, true. You're only 23. Maybe in 4 years' time, you'll have a better solution for it. So, but I know she's very, very high risk. Oh, I told her not even to take a chance. Because if it's your life, and even if you survived, or your baby, or you didn't survive, the baby would survive. I said, and then there'd be no mother for the baby. And my son would be devastated, and I'd be raising a child. And on top of that, she was telling me she has 5 siblings, and 2 of her siblings have cerebral palsy. So there's that risk factor too, on top of everything. So let's. I don't blame. I think I'm gonna do more, and or these 3. And then and then there's a clear coat you put on them. I've been on here almost 2 hours, and I think I'm gonna call it a night. But so I have these 3 to do, and then long ones. And you got home. That'll go on 1. Plus, my hand's getting tired. And then life is beautiful, grateful. Collect moments, not things. I do both. I collect moments and things. Enjoy the little things and choose happy. So, and then you put a clear coat on it. Ooh, my hand. Yep. Clear. And then magnets. And they just got a sticky back that you peel. You put it on the back, and they are a magnet. And it was this little kit I got that I won from Kathy's World. I thought it's cute. I don't know what what it says on the corner here, and I'm gonna check. They're not too expensive. When I get these, these are kind of cool because it's called Annie's Creative Women's Kit of the Month Club. I wonder how much it cost. Because I think that one, because this was another kit. I gotta fix this one. This was another kit that I got, but the glue didn't stick and it peeled off, so I have to fix this. But it has this. I gotta get it center again. But it was this 3 little tray. Look at it. They peeled off on me. I didn't care. The paint that came with this wasn't really good for metal. And I even did follow directions, and look at it, scratched right off. So this one I wasn't very, but that's supposed to go right there. But I'm thinking I'm just gonna paint that, and I'm gonna repaint it again, and then I'm going to dry brush some color on it, and just throw stuff in it. But yeah, that was in that prize box as well. It was cute, and it was all these little kits that she got, or that she belongs to. I don't know if she just tried them once a month to see if they were worth it, or if she gets them every month. I don't know. But I gotta mix this up because like I said, I'm gonna paint it all black again, and then I'm gonna dry brush some colors on it. It needs some color in my you know me, I like colors. So these probably go on my fridge. But I'm gonna call it a morning. Thank you guys for watching. I did. Well, if nobody watched my videos, these are my new stamps. I got this one from Holy Life Creation. And this was on clearance. I wish these all would have been on clearance, but they didn't have the other. And I got these on Joggles. And then with Joggles, they had this. Spend so much, you got the free art crayon by how's the name of this? Marabou. Art crayon shimmer. I at least got 4 cool colors. I know there's a few more. So I'm going to see if I like these. Yeah, you'll watch the video? Yeah. I got one more order coming from Only Life Creation. They didn't send me all my... I had it. They're lucky. I ordered it. And then it didn't go through and I didn't realize it. So I was like, where's my order? And then I looked back and realized, yeah, for some reason, PayPal didn't go through. But it was all in my cart yet. I was able to get it. But and I'm so glad because you know what's funny? I forgot. You can tell my mind's not all. And is my mind all that anyways? Because on Only Life Creation, I was on eBay. I gotta stop shopping it when I'm up at this time of night. Because I almost bought this stamp. Teresa would have died. And I almost bought this stamp. And I think there was one more I almost bought. Yep, that's it. Nope, this one. I almost bought these the other night on eBay. And I forgot I had them until I decided to take these envelopes and put my Art by Marlene stamps. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so glad I didn't buy them. Because I already bought them from Teresa. This is my birthday present from Teresa. Because she had all these Art by Marlene stamps that she was going to sell. And I told her I'd buy them. And then she's like, she goes, what do you want for your birthday? I said, well, just give me those stamps. And, oh my God. I'm so glad I didn't do it. But that all was in February, March. Yeah. So I was like, oh my God, I have these. I totally forgot. You know, like I said, the last 2 months of my life have been not easy. You know, you're too much happening in my head that I can't relax. So I want to get back into crafting. Scott could tell. He said that to me today. You need to take an hour a day in the mornings or whatever and go do your thing. He goes, because I can tell. Because he told me I was a cranky. Yeah, 3 a.m. shopping. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I'm not sleeping really good either. So, I'll show you the page I finished. John, I haven't seen you. It's my new journal. I don't like it. I love the paper in this journal, but I don't like it. Because in this journal, it's got the jean pages. So I did this last night, this morning. But it's got the jean pages, the burlap, and the jean. I love the cardstock in this. Yeah. Then we did that last night. I think that background turned out cool. But don't be chunky. My journals get real chunky because look at how chunky that is already. I already got another delusion one. It's up there. As soon as I start a delusion journal, I order a delusion journal. But Scott got me this for my birthday because it was in my wish list on Amazon. He had Diamond order it. I don't like the jean. And let's see. This is the, see. Let me figure this out again. Okay. This is jean right away. Then it's her mixed media paper. This is burlap right here is on burlap. Gets real stiff. And I'm thinking, doesn't make sense to me because I watched plenty of videos how people were doing them. And I still paint all of it. This one I left some jeans showing. But yeah, I probably won't ever buy this one again. This is a new stamp. These are my new stamps. I love the birds. I love the birds. And then these are the new flower stamps. This didn't turn out as well as I like, but I just let it go. Because I messed up the background. It did. And so I did. It's whatever. It's about doing something. Oh. Trying to think what else I did. Oh, I brought my cement turtles down and picked them outside. Scott's dad gave me these little lawn ornaments. They were made out of cement, and the paint was dripping off them. And I said to Dad, I'm going to bring them home in the winter. I'm going to redo them and paint them this winter so I have them in the summer. Spring to put back out in your yard. Well, I totally forgot about them. So he's looking out the window. He goes, hey, Tina. I go, what, Dad? He goes, don't forget your turtles and your gnomes. They need to be painted. I'm like, oh, shoot. He remembered. I didn't. Yeah. Because, and that was, she's like, tells her son, you can take the turtles. And I'm like, them are mine. I know they're only lawn ornaments. But Scott told her, you need to ask before you just give stuff away. Tina was doing the yard work here. Tina was decorating yard. She was giving my $60 wind chime away. I bought Dad. Yeah, I was crazy. I bought my father-in-law a $60 wind chime. But the sound that I made reminded me of a song that he listened to. That's why I bought it. $60. It was the only one that we didn't put away for the winter either. It's the one he always liked listening to. Well, I bought it. He said anything the person bought, they get back. Well, I love wind chimes. Nobody's taking my damn $60 wind chime. So, I don't think I did that bad putting them on there. Don't know. I guess, and you're supposed to be able to, if you wanted, where is it? I don't know what to do with the center. You could de-stress the edges. I'm not going to. I'm just not mess with that. But what else? I'm trying to think what else is going on. I'm packing up the hallway craft stuff that I don't use every day. That's like my lace and ribbon and all that. I'm gonna start packing that up. I told Scott, get that packed up. Because the thing is once we can move, I'll just put them in the trailer and bring them down. Boom. Because I told Scott I don't even have to really pack them. He's like, why? They're all in cubes. They're already in the little cubes. I'll just take the cube and move. It's not like I'm going a long ways. It's all the other little stuff that I want to pack up. But yeah, my hallway, it's all in cubes. I got those little canvas cubes in that. Yeah. But I already got the room planned out because you all know about my cupboard set. over here. I'll take a quick picture. This set right here. Oh, boom. If you go look at my craft room tour, you can see it better. But this set right here will not go as a whole across the wall. Me and Scott don't think. But I can put this, each one of these sections on between a window. And then this section can go on one wall. And then my desk that I have behind me can go on another wall. And my desk will be dead center. Yeah. Yeah. Well, the basement's packed. I told Scott, the basement's been packed up since last year. The only thing I unpacked on when I thought I would have to move is my Mary Moo to put in my new China hutch that Scott bought me for my anniversary. Yeah. And that goes, you got, I'm like, yeah, because I thought we would have to move. So I packed up everything that we didn't use and went through a lot of stuff last year that we really. She was going for almost a minute and a half before I started recording her. She gets so big on me. And her hair's going darker. I know. She wants a new one. She's like, Nana, I need a new hula hoop. Oh, I did a video, Scott.
Alright.
Picking up the bike. Oh, so I started over.
Alright.
Come on. What the hell did I do? Oh. Sorry.
There's my baby on his bike.
Okay, let me start that over. I did something. Okay, let's see. There we go.
Alright. There's my baby on his bike. See, it stops by every red light.
Yeah, it is. Her hair's dark now. It's turning.
Hey, might be lucky.
I'm more cautious scared than Scott is. Because wait, this is funny.
That's what scares me. Is assholes like that. Yeah, there's plenty of space. Oh, that guy would have cut out. Yeah.
Easter. Yeah. The kids. That's Diamond's neighbor's little boy. That's Kanisa. Oh, look at my table, Dawn. I was gonna get this. I was pretty. We went, today we went and Diamond. We bought Diamond a couch. Okay. Well, I went furniture shopping too. This is a kitchen table. I like the fact that this side right here, if you look, see how that side right there looks? Those flip in and slide in on both ends. So technically, if they're in, I'll have that much space. Except it's a bar stool table, and I got people are like, you don't want that. But they do have a sit down table. So that is the table I'm thinking about getting, except it's not going to be the bar stool table. And here's my couch. I even got the pillows picked. That's my couch. And then I got a matching chair that reclines. And I didn't get the lamp. I like the lamp on this side because I laughed because we had to wait. Sam Diamond wanted to show Sam the couch she picked out before we bought it. So we waited for Sam, and I was moving all these lamps. I'm like, can I move the lamps? Because you on my couch, I could pick out the pattern. 1,100. And the guy says they run sales on them all the time because I'm not buying my furniture until I paint that house and I move in, and then I'll have it delivered there. But I could pick out the pattern on this couch. Okay? And so I was looking through all the patterns. I know, I almost shit. I remember I could pick probably. I remember years ago when my mom bought a living room set. I could buy. She bought a 3-piece set for what I'm paying for just the couch. But it's made down by you, Dawn. It's Denver. It's from the Furniture Roll. Denver mattresses, Denver furniture, whatever. Yeah, it's made out of Colorado. Because he did tell me if I ordered the pattern, it'd take longer to get. So he said if I could do the time frame, come in and order, because it'd be almost 2 weeks to 3 weeks before I'd get my furniture. The salesman, this little guy named Patrick, very sweet guy. But so I could pick out my own fabric for this. So he took it off, he showed me, and I kept on going to the same one that was on the floor. Yeah. So I like this tone. It's like a brown, grayish, a natural look, and I liked it. And then these pillows that I get, also I could pick the fabric too. But these pillows match my curtains that I already have that I'm just gonna move to Dad's because I just literally bought my curtains for this living room here, and I can do them at Dad's. So and then I had said because Scott wants a lazy boy, and I was telling him because I could buy the love seat, the couch, and 2 chairs. Except my living room, there's not enough room at this living room to have the love seat, the couch, the 2 chairs. And Scott wants his own chair. So I told him, I said, I want a recliner myself. Well, I'm sitting in this chair that um matches the set. And he goes, Tina, lean back. So I lean back, and here the chair I was sitting in also reclines that I can match to the couch. So I'm going with that. Because I don't sit, I'm in my craft room all the time, but I wanted at least a chair. If I wanted to, I could recline. So I'm getting the matching recliner that goes with my set. And I have end tables, but Scott told me if I was going, I might as well get new end tables and lamps as long as I was doing new furniture. Because he gave me $5,000 to do new furniture. But if I got the couch to chair and the table, and I don't know if there's a difference from the bar stool table to the regular table because I was more interested in a bar stool table. But people telling me with my sciatica sitting at a bar stool, your legs will dangle a little bit more, might not be as comfortable. And I've heard that from more than one person. So me and Scott decided not to go with a bar stool, but we like the same concept where the leaves fold in, and if the kids come, we can pull them out because that is pulled out. So if the kids aren't with me, my table will only be like there because I have a small kitchen. I don't have a big kitchen. I lost my table. Um, but then we wouldn't have to worry about leaves. So my kitchen table would only be that wide when the kids aren't there. And that's not bad. So, but yeah, I got $5. But between the couch, the chair, and the dining set, it was only $3,000. But there was a sale going on. But he told me they run that sales all the time, and it's all made from and that's real wood. That's not because I was telling him. I said my only piece of brand new furniture I ever bought off the, was from the furniture lane or furniture what the furniture roll was my dining room set that Diamond has, and it's 20. I bought it in 2000, so 23 years old, and it's still nice. The finish is finally coming off, but that Diamond could refinish that if she wanted to. For being 23 years old, it's still decent. It's made, and he knew exactly what furniture I was talking about because he's like, "Well, what with that table set?" So if I had a bigger kitchen, I could have went nuts because I fell in love with this dining set, but it's so big. But I told Scott, I said, let's um. So I'm gonna get all new. Well, the thing is when I came to I pouted because I woke up and Scott woke me up and he's like, "Baby," he's like, "What?" Diamond says Furniture Land is having a good sale, and I'm like, "Yeah," because the thing is, this is how we ended up couch shopping. Diamond wanted Scott's dad's couch. She needed a new couch. Scott's dad's couch was in awesome shape. Nobody wanted a couch. I didn't want it. Scott didn't want it. Annette didn't want it. So Diamond we were like, yeah, you can have the couch. Me and Scott were gonna load it up. I wonder which. And this is why we bought Diamond a couch. So Diamond's like, well, wait till after this with her dogs. She's like, wait till my yard dries out because it's pretty muddy out there. So that's why the couch didn't get out by Diamond already. Okay. Or it had probably been there a week after. Scott would have moved it out to her a week, probably within 4 days after it was decided. Well, then Annette came back up and said she wanted the couch. Diamond already got rid of, because Diamond had a used couch she bought. It was a sectional. She already got rid of one half of her sectional because she knew she was getting dad's. She was so mad. So Scott and I decided to the fact that our children were so proud of our kids when they realized what me and Scott were going through and what Scott's dad was going through that they stepped up and took. Xavier missed 4 days of work. Diamond, she took leave from school. That we both gave them $2,000 to buy what they wanted, to do what they wanted. He paid his, because Xavier came to Scott and I and asked to borrow $500 for his deductible because he had a slight accident this winter. He slid in a car in the parking lot and it went right down the side of his truck. So he wanted to get his truck fixed. Well, he took off that work to assist Scott and I, and he needed asked to borrow $500 from Scott and I to pay his deductible to get his truck fixed. Well, we didn't tell him at the time. Scott said, "Yep, I'll get it out of the bank." Well, when he came over, we handed him the envelope, and he's like, "What's this?" He goes, "Dad, there's $2,000 in here. I only need five." And we told him, "No, we gave your sister $2,000. We're giving you $2,000." Yeah, that's me. Every furniture I've ever owned in my living room has always been hand-me-downs, or I found it a set at a garage sale, which is somebody, I mean, they were decent, but I've never had brand new living room furniture. So I'm excited. I've had one new kitchen table, and I don't even have my kitchen table because my kitchen here, as well as Scott's dad's, is too small for my kitchen table. Yeah. So Diamond's got it. But so, and then Zaber owed Scott's dad money when dad passed away, and that became Scott's debt. And Zaber was like, no, you already covered my debt for me. We were like, don't worry about it. We were like, we're not, because he was worried that he had to pay us back because that's how it went. You got, you got your kids' debts. Xavier owed Scott's dad $2,000, so that $2,000 went to Scott's debt. Well, so now Xavier was for was re, came to us because he was paying Scott's dad so much a month, so he wanted to see if we were up to what he paid Grandpa, and we told him not to worry about it. So he's debt free on that end. But the way our kids, when Xavier came to see Grandpa, he looked at Dom and he's like, Mom and Dad look like the Walking Dead. Well, me and Scott weren't really sleeping, and um they stepped up and helped take care of Grandpa, and made Scott and I. We all took shifts. The kids were taking a night shift because Dad was more active during the day. So Diamond and Xavier would take night shifts so Scott and I could sleep. This is my favorite picture. Let's see, my proudest parent. I mean, I have good kids. I've never ever denied that. I mean, as a parent, you always wonder if you do good. I mean, I know I'm very proud of my kids, but you're like, did I do good with my kids? You know, you kind of that. You look back and you have your proud moments. I mean, my kids are very good kids. They never got in trouble. They both graduated high school. They both went on to future careers. But you have those moments where, as a parent, you're very proud of your children more than everyday proudness. When I woke up one morning, and I took a picture of them because it was so cute. And let's see. As they took the night shift, Scott got up about 4 o'clock and told the kids to go to bed upstairs. And they're like, no, we're staying with Grandpa. So that's Diamond, and that's Xavier. And my father in law's in the recliner. They wouldn't leave his side. They wanted to be close to him. So they were sleeping on the floor in front of him, just in case he still needed them. Yeah. And I remember when I walked downstairs, I cried. I had to step out because I'm so proud of my kids. I'm so proud of my kids. To see their actions with their grandfather in the last days of his life. It was one of the proudest moments of being their mother. I told Scott, I think we did, I said, Scott, we were both standing there because I was crying. And Scott looked at me. He goes, are you okay? Why are you crying? I said, look at our children. And plus, when they would spend the night with Mom and Dad, they'd get sleeping bags out and they'd sleep on the living room floor. They didn't want to sleep upstairs because it was okay when Scott's parents were upstairs. But when Scott's dad got sick, we moved his parents downstairs into where my craft room was. So Dad went because my father-in-law had throat cancer, and it saved some energy of him getting into the bathroom. So we moved to his parents' bedroom all down. Scott and I did that years ago. Well, then the kids didn't want to sleep upstairs anymore because Grandpa and Grandma were downstairs. So they would have a slumber party in the living room. That's what was one of those little memories of the slumber parties they'd have at Scott's parents. But I said to Scott that morning when I was looking at him on the floor sleeping, I said, Scott, I said, I had this overwhelming that I was so, at that moment, it was life changing and in front of us. You know, my father in law's in his last days of our lives, and his grandchildren, me and Scott's children, wouldn't leave his side. It was just the proudest moment. I had said to Scott, we did something right. I said, and he goes, yep, we did. So, so that was where, um, giving him a gift from dad, because Scott's dad said so, he mentioned to help Xavier out with the house and maybe pay off a student loan with for Diamond, you know, or give, student, it had to be for college or a house. So that's where that $10,000 came in. Yeah, he told. Now we don't know if Annette's doing that for her children, but we did it for ours. We're doing it for ours. So, but and then they got that. I called it the. Well, he handed me, my father-in-law handed me an envelope with $500 and it told me to have fun. That I couldn't. It's not to pay a bill. He said this is for you to do. So I got. He gave me $500 in cash before he passed away. I, I haven't even spent it all. I said, "What do I?" I said, "Dad, I don't need this money." No, I want you to have it. He says, "This is for you to do what you want with when I'm gone. No bills." I'm like, "I'll pay a bill." He's like, "No." I called it fun money, just for fun. Yep. So that's where I've been. These little houses that you're seeing. That's where it's like these are my fun money from my father-in-law. Yeah. He told Scott and Annette and Sue one day when I wasn't that he's turned around, he was sitting up, it was really active. It was before, that switch, as I call it. They warned us that there will be this switch in him. Sue was there. Sue was telling me today or yesterday. In front, she goes, that he said, I love you three children, because Sue was like his other daughter. And he looked at Scott, he looked at Annette, and he looked at Sue. He says, but I think Tina's going to take the hardest when I'm gone. And Scott. Annette goes, I do. Annette can't figure it out why. She just said that. I don't know why he thought that. Sue says to her, it's funny, Dawn. Sue said to her, they were always here with him. But I had my breakdown. And I think he'd be proud of Scott and I what we're doing. Because we're not wasting the money. We are, we put a lot of it in. We went from a bank to a credit union because the credit union gave us more interest on our money. I never realized that before. I've been banking at my same bank since Diamond was a baby. So Scott's dad's money was at a Capital One credit union. So we went in and talked to them, and that's where we got a better. We have two savings there. One that is in a higher rate, and one that has the money that we're using. Yeah, and the other one we put it in was, we call it our house fund account, where that account, matter of fact, the debit card should be coming in and now, and pretty soon, because we put one um in an account that draw more interest than the house account, we call it. It doesn't draw as much because we're pulling from it, but then the other one we're not pulling unless they really need to. But we set ourselves up where we don't need to touch the one that's, yeah, I mean, 6 life insurance policy. Yeah. He was the bank at the credit union in Capital One was really, they sat and explained the difference from like this account to this account, and then we were telling them that we're buying the house, so we have that and want to pick up things, and so we have that put all in one account, and then the other we put a whole musload in the other one that we're not touching. Like the Harley came out of that house account. It doesn't draw as much interest as this other one we put there. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we almost. Yeah. Yeah, we don't understand it. But, like, what can we're not going to, like, Scott, because when, like, Scott got another one last week from his work. Why he had so many, I think the thing is that I think he paid on them so much. I think the thing is the one that he paid so much in them that he'd lose it if he ended cashed them out, is what the bank guy was kind of telling us when we went and took the check that we got into the Scott went over, and we went over to the bank, and he said he paid so much in that he probably only paid minimum to keep them because he had so much invested. Yeah. And he probably, they were all for mom. He always thought he would go first. He never figured she would go first. So he was always looking in the future for mom. So then when mom went, he switched them into Scott and Annette's name, both beneficiary of them. I think that's what it was. That he never expected he would outlive her. Yeah. I held the check last week. Thought it was funny. I won't tell you. I'll tell you them all privately. But it went. You know how they have this check and they have that little dot to to separate it from the piece of paper. Well, it didn't go all the way through. So Scott came in and asked to use my paper cutter, and I said, "What do you need?" And he showed me. So I cut it for him, and I held the check. And he goes, "I have my check," and I'm like, "No." He's like, "Excuse me?" I'm like, "Let me just hold this." And he's like, "Why?" I said, "Because I've never had a check for this amount that it wasn't a fake." He starts laughing. He goes, "Well, get your bed dressed so I go into the bank," he says, because I wasn't on any of the accounts yet. I was beneficiary, but I'm not on the account to be able to get money out of the accounts. So I had to go in, so they had my signature. So, so that's, but yeah. He set his kids up good. It amazes me. What I can't figure out is the man was an electrician by trade that he didn't do his house. I don't get it. I don't understand it. Why? And why not spend his money? I'd be like, "Hey, Dad, let's go do." Nope, too expensive. I tell you, even when my mother-in-law was alive, they were like that. To realize what the amount that they had after death, it blows my mind. Can't take it when you die. I'd have spent it and not gave my kids a dime. I'm just kidding. But that, see what I mean? It's crazy. I mean, he did good by his kids. I'll get that, but spend a little when you were living. He wouldn't. Well, just like he knew I wanted. It was so funny, Dawn. This last thing he bought, we could call Dad the gadget buyer, as seen on TV. He go find that aisle at Fleet Farm. Okay. Well, we were having a conversation, and I told him I wanted a air fryer, because yeah, Oh, I knew he'd never get remarried. Yeah. And I think if he did, he would have did a prenup. But I knew that my father-in-law would never get remarried. No. His true love died when he like. I mean, my in-laws were together since she was 13, he was 14. So I knew that was never going to happen. But so he buys an air fryer. Used it once and then told me to take my air fryer home. So, but I wouldn't. So it's been sitting on a counter at Dad's. And then one day he called me and asked me if I could walk to Quick Trip for him to get eggs because he wanted. I'm like, okay. Well, he thought I'd come and get money from him and then go to Quick Trip. Well, I went to Quick Trip and then came around. Dozen eggs, $3. What the hell? I ain't taking you $3 for some eggs. Because he's like, if you could get, he says, if they don't have the 6-pack, just get a 12-pack of eggs. He says, and you can take 6 home with you. He goes for you and Scott because I don't eat enough of them to buy 6. I'm like, okay. So I went to Quick Trip and got him eggs. Come back and goes, how much are you? I'm like, I don't need your $4. I said, what do you want to do with eggs, Dad? He says, I want some hard boiled eggs. I haven't had them in a long time because my mother in law used to make them hard boiled eggs all the time. I'm like, okay, I can get that. So I made him hard boiled eggs. And I made egg sandwich. He says, like, salt and pepper. Well, he saw what I do. And I said, I'll make all 12 of them. My dad said, Dad. I said, and then you can have the hard boiled eggs for a couple of days if you want. And, oh, okay. I said, because I said, I think your hard-boiled eggs will last you a week. I said even 2 if I remember correctly after they're hard-boiled. I said, especially if they don't take them out of the shell. Oh, I'll have them for a week or so. Yeah. I said, do you mind if I have 2? And he's like, no. And then he saw me cut it up and I mayonnaise. I was making egg sandwiches. He's like, oh, I want an egg sandwich. So we had egg sandwiches. And so a week later, he says, hey, I bought us something, he says to me. I said, he bought us something. He went, his gadget buyer, he bought this hard egg. This is the 3rd time he bought me things for hard egg. Yeah. He bought the one that you pour them in a little cup and you could put it in a microwave for me. And then he bought this other one. And then he bought the one that you plug in that does hard boiled eggs. I never used it. Yeah. To make life simpler on me. And then he gave it to Sue because Sue's died, and I was looking because he kept on telling me to take his last week with Amir, his last week in this world. He kept on telling me to take my air fryer, my egg, my electric can opener, my little roaster, big roaster. He's telling all this out loud over and over. He'd get up, see him still in the roasters in the living room because he started putting things. He quit going downstairs, so we left a lot upstairs, like the roasters that he used. We left him. We left him upstairs so that he could get them. So they were sitting on chairs in the living room. Saber shows up. It's so funny. Saber shows up. And he's like, Saber. And Saber's like, yes, Grandpa. He goes, do me a favor. What do you think, Grandpa? Take those roasters and walk them out to your truck, and when you go home, you drop them off at your mom's. I was like, Saber, take them downstairs. So I was still in denial, thinking he's going to snap out of it. I thought this was all a ploy to get a net up here. Oh, no, it wasn't. But, yeah. I told Scott, I said, you know what's sad, Dawn? I moved up in the world with electric can opener and I can't get it to work. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. So I grabbed my handheld and go. By the time I do get it to work eventually, but for some reason I have to try to get it 3-4 times on that electric can opener to get it to work right. So by that time, me messing around trying to get it on the electric can opener, I already can open it with my handheld quicker. I could see why he bought it because he was like this. His fingers were turning in. And I could see where he couldn't crank. I could see where he could hold it up. Scott's gonna see what I'm doing wrong because I can't look down at the same time as I'm doing the can to see what I'm doing wrong. But yeah, the gadget buyer. I had to bring my camera home too. That became an issue. So yeah, so but you know what I did the other day? I went grocery shopping for the first time since Scott's dad passed away this week. I went done grocery shopping. I bought stuff I could use in my deep fryer, stuff that I couldn't eat anymore. I'm so excited. Scott goes, I thought you were going in for stuff to make tacos. I came out with a whole grocery cart for a week for two. I went grocery shopping. I was supposed to run in and get stuff to make tacos, and he couldn't figure out what was taking me so long. I went grocery shopping more than uh. His bedroom's totally okay. The only thing in his bedroom is a long dresser, a tall dresser, a nightstand, and a bookshelf. That room's totally done. The kitchen is totally cleaned out except for the stuff that I have to pack up for donation. The kitchen's empty. The living room's empty except for uh, the pictures that me and Scott said are hanging on the walls. The couch is she's supposed to be taking this weekend. Two chairs that are so old that we're getting rid of them. And Scott and Annette each got a vintage antique. I like mine. I picked. Dad let me pick. It was funny. Um, hers is an end table, or an old claw with the claws on the side. Mine is a little stand that has a closet door and three drawers. It matches one that my great grandparents had, and dad dad let me choose, or he's Scott. He let Scott choose, but Scott always knew I wanted that one, so that's one Scott chose. And the living room's done. We went through the bathroom cabinet. Oh my god, bathroom cabinet, closet. 8 bottles of peroxide. 4 of them open. So we poured them in, and toothpaste. A lot of toothpaste. So we donated a lot of the toothpaste. I donated it to the homeless shelter. And this is what I don't understand. I mean, I don't know. He would go to the dentist, he'd get a little bag with a toothbrush, floss in, and toothpaste, all in a little goodie bag. I bet you we found 60 of them. So I made the choice. I grabbed it all without somebody looking, and I took it to the homeless shelter. They were pleased. The lady's like, "Oh, we won't even have to go." I checked all. I said to her, I don't know if toothpaste expired. I said this. I told her where they came from, and she's like, "Probably." She goes, "Not if they're not punctured. They're probably good for 5 years." So we were looking. There's no expiration dates on any of the toothbrush or toothpaste. And then I bet you I found another additional 30 toothbrushes by themselves and bars of soap that Scott or Annette or anybody could use. None of us could use it. If it was Dial, I could have used it, but Scott can't use it, and neither can Annette. So we donated all the bar soap. I bet you I found 30 things of bar soap. What else we found? It was interesting. Aftershave. Scott's dad wore Old Spice. Yeah, we found Old Spice, but then we found this other aftershave that I don't know. Somebody gifted it to him, and he didn't want to hurt their feelings, but it was stuck in a cupboard still in the gift package. 6 of them. So I donated them to the homeless shelter too. I told the lady I'm not sure, because it's, the aftershave if it's still good, because it's still in the box. So they said they check them. They wrote check. Just they took it all. They took all Dad's clothes, all his jeans, a suit that he bought for Diamond's wedding that didn't fit Scott, didn't fit anybody else. I um I donated that to the men's closet for guys. I know that they have like a men's closet because the homeless shelter wouldn't take the suit, but the lady told me about the men's closet. And the men's closet are where the person can't afford, say it's like for a job they need they're trying to get a job and they assist a guy with clothes to start a job. So that's where Dad's suit and all his dress shirts went. What else did I do? There's so because we bought Dad, he had us get him some diapers. We only used one out of the package. And then the some other stuff in that line, there was only like one or two used. I didn't know if they would take it at the homeless shelter. They took it. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. Trying to think what else. The only thing upstairs we have to go through is the Christmas from Mom. Christmas stuff that was my mother-in-law's that we were always supposed to do it. That never wanted to do it. Family pictures, I told Scott to have fun with. Tons of pictures. And you're talking ancestry pictures. Scott's great. Yeah, just a shelf full. Ones that you don't want to get rid of, but they take up space kind of pictures. A day bed, which I wanted, but then me and Scott talked about it. I'm not keeping it because there's a bedroom set upstairs that was Scott's in his room. It's just a full-size bedroom. It has the headboard and the matching dresser. We're going to keep that one in that room for if we have guests. We're going to do the electric once it's in our name. We're not going to do major things. Either way, like Scott, I'm going to start with me and Scott. Me and Austin. It's Sue's son. We're going to start washing the walls, but we're not going to paint and we're not going to do anything until there's a contract and date that it will be put in Scott's name. Then once it's in Scott's name, we'll start painting, and then the electrician will make the call for the electrician. He said within 4 days he told Scott, I can have this. He said this house is easier than we thought it would be. So, because I told Scott, unless it's wrote up, that if we start doing the work in the house and something occurs from A to B, and all of a sudden we get a reimbursed for our time and any money, paint and our time, or anything that we put into that house. If something changes, we get reimbursed. Or we aren't doing anything until it's in our name. And that says okay to start, but me and Scott don't feel comfortable to start painting and renovations basically until it's in our name. Yeah. But I figured I can start washing. So it's like to the Scott, we're gonna have to wash the walls regardless. So get one step ahead there. Oh, are you going to bed, Dawn? Because I'll call you. Because I'm gonna get off here. Okay. You call messenger or telephone? Okay, give me a 2 minutes and I'll grab your call. Thank everybody for watching. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy the wonderful weather. I may be getting snow. So, yeah. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll call you in a 2 minutes, Dawn.